Thank you so much for joining in. We hope this session is as insightful for us as it is for you. I would like to take this honor as the president of the Growth, Development and Change Cell to introduce our very first speaker, Mr. Sidharth Sogani. Mr. Sidharth Sogani, the founder and the CEO of CREBACO Global. It stands for the credit rating for exchanges, blockchain, and coin offerings. It has a research-based company that works with governments to regulate and audit cryptocurrencies, digital asset exchanges, and blockchain technology. With its branches in Singapore, US, India, and Malaysia, its vision is to provide scanned, clean, validated databases related to the crypto industry. The data enables the company to create research-backed financial solutions for investing and dealing with unprecedented and emerging decentralized ecosystems. In 2008, Mr. Sogani completed his graduation with a BCom from Sydenham College of College and Economics. Later, he pursued Master in Commerce from the University of Mumbai in 2009. Furthermore, he studied management, entrepreneurship, and global leadership at the London School of Economics and completed his MBA from the University of East London in 2012. He started his corporate journey as a business developer at Count and Denier India Private Limited, and later worked as a research analyst at Bloomberg in 2010. He is a well-read and well-traveled experienced professional in international banking and business, and has been in the blockchain and crypto industry since 2015. Mr. Sogani has seen the industry evolve and is a firm believer in the decentralized revolution. He has an acquired expertise in understanding Bitcoin, ICO/STO based startups, and the cryptocurrencies. He is also the founder of BlockNext Solutions Limited Liability Partnership, India's first digital asset management firm. Mr. Sidharth also runs Sogani Nexus Private Limited, a family-owned textiles business that manufactures and exports fabrics and garments. Dear sir, it is an honor to have you with us. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so much, Anaya, and that was a long, impressive introduction. All right, so I'm Sidharth. Just let me explain what we do in 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'll take questions. And see, the thing is, I don't want to start with a boring lecture. There is enough content on YouTube. What is Bitcoin? You just type on YouTube and you'll find thousands of videos on explaining the fundamentals. Still, I'll spend a few minutes to explain how it works. So we are into textiles, like how Inaya just introduced. So I was in New York in 2015, and I was selling T-shirts, and I was crashing with my friend. And he said, yeah, एक नया exchange आया है, Coinbase, and they are selling cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. You want to buy some? I was like, how much is it? He said it's $250. I said, okay, चल ठीक है, $500 का ले ले. So I bought 2 Bitcoin at around $257 in 2015. Then I came back, and I we all are students of finance, so we have to be updated. So I understood that this is very disruptive, and this is gonna be the future because it is programmed in such a manner which is solving a great problem. So then what happened is I started trading, investing. That time there were not many exchanges. I think just one exchange in India in 2015-16, and Bitcoin was trading at probably $300 to $400. So I said this is a good space. However, it's unregulated. So technology is always first. Regulation follows, right? So we started BlockNext Solutions, which was a portfolio management company of cryptocurrencies. Then we reached an AUM of about $11-12 million. Then and but then the government regulations came in, and the legal suggested that we cannot do it. We are not a we cannot collect funds, so we had to shut it down. But during that time, we understood that there is a huge gap. People don't understand cryptocurrencies. We made mistakes while investing. So we developed a new framework for analyzing cryptos. Now, what happens is, suppose you want to invest in Reliance Industries. Anybody into stock markets over here? Does anybody own any stock?
A few.
Okay, I'm sure. So
I've
if you
started
want to
trading in the
invest,
IPOs just as a small step. Yeah.
I'm sure. So if we are investing in, say, Reliance Industries or Tata Industries or Godrej or whatever, the first thing which we look at is what is the earnings per share, how much profit that company is making, what is the profit before tax, and the P/E ratios and all those things. But in crypto, it's not like it is a new, because it's not a company which makes profit and distributes in its shares. It's not a share. It's a fraction of the network which you own. Okay, that you have to understand. So we developed a new parameter based research system which uses 150 parameters, which checks out the legal, the technology, the financials, the token economics, and also we do a due diligence of the entire project. And based on that, so and to collect that, we use over 2,500 data points from across the internet. Okay, so we now have one of the largest comprehensive research databases in the world, which we share to governments, regulators, special economic zones. So suppose you want to invest $10 million. Okay, I'm talking about institutional investors. So if they are investing $10 million, they won't mind spending a few $1,000s on buying a systematic research report. Okay, so it's important for them to always understand that itna bada paisa lagane to, they have to uh, buy the best research so that they don't make any mistake. And there is a problem of compliance also, because not all countries have a systematic regulation for this space. So we started CREBACO, which stands for credit rating for exchanges, blockchains, and coin offerings. Because that's what we do now. Currently, we are working with governments, regulators. We are sharing data to a lot of institutional investors who are managing bigger portfolios. But all that is because of the research which we have done, the process-driven information which we have, that has enabled us to build better financial solutions. That's what CREBACO do. Anybody has any exposure to crypto in this call? Anyone?
So I think everyone was first waiting to take your expertise and then invest in it.
Okay, so let me start why Bitcoin was created. Okay, so you guys must be reading about recession, economics, everybody, right? So if you see the last 40 to 50 years of history from the 1971, when the gold standard was revoked and all those things, from then till now, every 7 to 10 years there is a recession. Okay, so inflation is when the government keeps printing money. Okay, and then suddenly the yield curves reaches negative levels and there is a recession. So you go back and see that every 10 years there is a recession. In 2008 financial crisis, the market crashed. Everybody got ripped off. Okay, so during that time, so we don't know who created Bitcoin. Okay, it's a pseudonym called Satoshi Nakamoto, but we don't know who he is. Is he a person, or is he a group of people, or we don't know that. He's Japanese or American. We don't know that. It's just a pseudonym, Satoshi Nakamoto. Now he created Bitcoin. He released the Bitcoin white paper in 2008, and so Bitcoin was created with a idea of decentralization. Have you guys watched this movie? What was his name? The Big Short. Anybody has seen The Big Short? Okay, I'm gonna suggest you a few movies and few. Aditi Walia has seen Big Short. Good. So I suggest everybody to watch The Margin Call and The Big Short. Okay, those two movies, damn interesting movies. I mean, you can spend a weekend watching it with a uh, and so these movies basically are made on the 2008 financial crisis. And what has happened in that movie is there is something called as mortgage backed securities. Mortgage backed securities is when you go to the bank, give your house as collateral and take a loan. Okay, and the bank say you have a 1 crore house, you go to the bank. And so in India now, since the last few years, sorry, hello. Okay.
So I think that was by mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, by mistake. So Before, if you had a 1 crore rupee house, the bank was ready to give you a 1.5 crore loan. Okay, but since the last few years, since there have been a lot of defaults, the bank has changed it, and now they give you 60, 70, 80% of the house amount. So if your house is worth 1 crore rupee, they'll just give you 80 lakhs. But in US that time, it wasn't like that. And also, if you wanted to buy a new house, they were not looking at your credit history or your CIBIL score. They were just giving you houses. So what had happened then is a lot of people bought houses, took loans against it, and there was a lot of magic money which was created. So this money, for example, if you have a 1 crore rupee house, okay, you go to the bank and take a loan of 1 crore 25 lakhs. You buy another house for 1 crore 25 lakhs. You go to the other bank and take a loan of 1.5 crores. Okay. So now the backing asset is just 1 lakh rupee, 1 crore rupees. But that 50 lakh rupees, which are additionally given by the banks, don't have any backing. They are not backed by gold. They are just magic money. Okay, you can go to Google and look for magic money uh, videos, and it'll tell you what is the entire concept. So because of that existing additional printing of money, additional circulation of money, the inflation takes place and there is a recession. So in the movie as well, you can witness that people had bought houses on the names of their dogs. These the bank guys, they go to the house and they're like, where is this XYZ person? You're like, oh no, he's not a person, he's my dog. So this was actually there, and the entire world was shaken because of this. Now what had happened is, when people at that point of time, there is a scene. So in the Lehman Brothers was the first company to crack. So Lehman Brothers got to know that this is the situation. आज market गिरने वाला है. So they said, just hold on to the news. Let's sell as much as we can before 12 o'clock. And then we'll announce the news that we are bust. So what it means is the entire ecosystem is actually a cartel. Okay. Now Bitcoin was created so that the power from the centralized entities, from the governments, regulators, it comes to the people. So what Satoshi did, he made a peer-to-peer decentralized borderless system. What is peer-to-peer? Anybody uses torrents to download movies?
Yes, sir.
Okay, lot of them. Now, what a torrent does is, the moment you download a movie, it starts seeding the movie in your computer so that if somebody else wants to download it, they can directly download it from your laptop. So there is not a server, but a network which enables downloads of movies from one computer to other. So what torrent does is, suppose you downloaded Batman in your laptop, and 10 laptops have Batman, you'll get to know that there are 10 seeds to that torrent, so your movie gets downloaded faster. That's the idea of peer-to-peer. So peer-to-peer technology was always there. We all use encryption. This call is also encrypted. Encryption. So because cryptocurrency uses encryption, it is called crypto. Okay. There is no, the only logic behind this thing is that it uses cryptography, an advanced level of cryptography. So that's the crypto aspect. And then
Is that how it's got its name?
Yes, that's how it has got its name. So the ecosystem is cryptocurrency. Now, so the peer-to-peer thing is understood, cryptography is understood. Then, so there's one more thing. If somebody is taking notes, please take notes and circulate it in the group. Look on Google called Byzantine's general problem. Okay, Byzantines. Now, Byzantine's general problem is a very good concept. So what happened is, suppose I give 1 Bitcoin to Inaya, okay, and Inaya receives that Bitcoin, and after 2 minutes, Inaya says that, sir, please give me my Bitcoins. I'll say, yaar, abhi to diya hai. Like, nahi sir, aapne nahi diya hai. So I said, arey, there are 76 participants in this call. They've all seen this transaction take place. So all these remaining 75 people on this call, they are the recorders of the transaction. You have all seen that transaction take place. So you are recording that transaction in your head to make it a point that Inaya should not back out, saying that sir ne kabhi mere ko Bitcoin diya hi. So you guys are all the nodes in the Bitcoin network who are recording this transaction. Okay. So the Bitcoin network is designed in such a way where every 10 minutes, a bunch of transactions are put in a blockchain. Blockchain is not made of blocks or something. Blockchain is a set of transactions which gets into a record. Okay. And that record becomes immutable. So for example, A gives money to B, that transaction gets recorded in the blockchain. Okay. Then after 10 minutes, another block will generate. And if C wants to transfer to D, that transaction will again go to the second block. So this chain of transactions is called a blockchain. You can go on Google and understand blockchain. There are thousands of animated, graphical, lovely videos which explain you what blockchain. So I won't waste time on that. So blockchain is a concept which was solving Byzantine's general problem. So Byzantine's ka story aisa hai that Byzantine is a king or he's a general and he's heading an army. So one guy comes and says, one of his the one of his wazirs, he comes and says that, sir, the enemy's army has crossed the river. And he was just listening to this guy, and the other guy comes and says the enemy's army is just behind the river, they are about to cross it. So he gets confused. Either of them is lying, right? So in the meantime, one more guy comes and says that the enemy's army is about to cross the river. So he understood that the first guy who came and who said that the enemy's army has crossed the river is lying. Okay, because he's got two proofs saying the same thing. So the blockchain, any transaction, if I send you a Bitcoin transaction, it takes two confirmations to make it a point that this transaction is recorded on the blockchain. Minimum two confirmations. Even though the transaction has taken place, nothing can go wrong, but it still takes two confirmations. Only then it is put on the blockchain, because there is a possibility that somebody may reverse the transaction or something can happen. So it needs minimum two people to confirm. Okay. So that's the concept of blockchain. Now, so Bitcoin has peer-to-peer cryptography. It uses SHA-256 algorithm encryption for its cryptography. It's a very outdated thing, but still it's working. But Bitcoin always keeps improving. This is just a software, like how your mobile phone upgrades. The network also upgrades itself. So Bitcoin, so Bitcoin was basically solving this problem. So this was the technical part. Now, you guys have any questions? Any follow-up questions here?
If anyone has questions, if they could please put on the chat box.
Come on,
Neil, if you have any
one
questions.
good, interesting question. I want an interactive session. I get bored otherwise. Nobody on encryption, nobody on peer-to-peer, nothing?
I think people are just feeling a little shy. Okay, someone has put something on the chat box.
Sir, how is it mined? Perfect. Chintan Shetty, great question. Now, I explained that 76 people in this room saw the transaction, I sending one Bitcoin to Inaya. Now, these 76 people, they are not wasting time, right? They are doing something, they are recording. So you have to buy a machine called an ASIC. What are the fundamentals of a Bitcoin? I'll come to that. Let me first explain the tech part of it. Then we'll come to the fundamentals, how the price and everything works. Okay, so you have to buy a machine called ASIC, application specific integrated circuit. Okay, it's something like a CPU which we have, and its work is only you connect it to the Bitcoin network, and all it does is just keep mining transactions. Like how I give one Bitcoin to Inaya gives to Saloni or whoever, and all these transactions, वो server सिर्फ उस transactions को record करेगा. It will do nothing else. But that machine costs you about
it's like a database, basically.
It's like a database, and it is maintaining that database constantly by recording the transactions. But that machine costs 7 to 8 lakh rupees. Okay, and it consumes a lot of energy. And
that must be the most basic version of it, right?
Yeah, that
or
is
is
the
it
most
standardized?
It is technically, it is standardized in terms of hash power.
Okay.
The more machines you put, the faster you can do the transaction of Sidharth to Inaya. You know, that one Bitcoin. So if I've got 100 hash power, I'll take probably 1 hour to do it. But if I've got 10,000 hash power, I'll do it in 1 minute. So the more transactions you record, the faster you can make a block. And the moment you make a block, the network rewards that miner who's invested his time, money, energy. He's put probably one engineer to maintain those machines. उसका software होता है. It's a computer, right? तो hang होता है, उसको restart करना पड़ता है. All those things, you need a man behind all those machines. So people buy places on rent. There's a lot of expenses involved. So the network, because that machine is helping the network record a lot of transactions, on each successful block, the network releases 6.25 Bitcoin. As of now, it is 6.25, but this keeps halving every 4 years. So this is how it is mined, and this is why it is mined. Anybody without a machine cannot be a part of the network. They can have a transaction copy, but they cannot record new transactions.
So this is basically like a prerequisite to beginning trading.
No, mining is different. Trading is different. Trading, anybody can go and do. Mining is being a part of the network as a miner. So that is different. Sir, why do different cryptos? Can you explain detail need for creating Bitcoin? So you on your 100 rupee note, that is on the fundamental side. First, let me clear the technical side. Any questions on the technical side?
Neil, if you have any questions.
Sir, I just wanted to ask one question with regards to mining, which you just discussed that, what if all of the limited currency is mined? Like if it is completely mined, then what happens in the process?
Completely mined. Okay, so Bitcoin has a protocol that every 10 minutes, 6.25 Bitcoins are generated. And this process of mining, so it is time based. Okay, it's calculated. You can calculate that on 2025, 1st of January, how many Bitcoins will be there in circulation. So it's time based. So till 2140, the mining process will go on. After that, when all the 21 million Bitcoins are mined, you will not need to mine new transactions, but a transaction fee will be given to the people who record that transaction.
Right, got it.
Also, there is something called as proof of work and proof of stake. Go on Google, look about it. Proof of work is when you deploy machines to record a transaction. Those machines are working, okay? And then there is something called as proof of stake, where you suppose you buy 10 Bitcoins and you stake it on the network, saying that, I've got 10 Bitcoins. I really believe in it. That's why this is my stake, and allow me to record transactions. So in that case, you don't need a machine to mine, but you need more investment. A larger chunk, a larger ownership of the network is what you require. That's on the mining side. Okay. Now on the fundamental side, why the need was for Bitcoin. So all these cryptos which we see, all these fiat currencies which we see, fiat currencies are government issued fiat currencies. Now on your 100 rupee note, you'll see, I promise to pay the bearer sum of 100 rupees. So वो 100 rupees की note की value क्या है? How much is the cost of creating that 100 rupee note? It's just cost you 3 rupees. But still, you can do a 100 rupee worth of transaction. You can do a 2000 rupee worth of transaction. But that note is just a piece of paper. So where does that note get its value from?
It is
it's a question.
The RBI who gives it the value?
Absolutely right. So
Government
RBI takes, somebody is writing RBI recognition. No, it's not recognition. RBI issues that note. Okay. So the governor signs under it that, we trust this is our instrument. And if somebody wants 100 rupees worth of gold or value, they can come to us and we'll do it. We'll honor this instrument. That's why I promise to pay the bearer. That's the idea. Now, gold reserves is all, the gold standard was removed. So there is no gold. In 1971, the gold standard was removed. So now if the RBI has say 100 rupees worth of gold, they can still print 1,000 rupees worth of currency because the gold standard is not there. It's not pegged to gold anymore. Okay. So what the RBI, so that is a debt instrument. Okay. What you're using is a debt instrument where RBI takes the guarantee of honoring that instrument. Cryptocurrency is debt free. If you own cryptocurrency, you own it. And the network has recorded it and you own it. It is, you don't need anybody else to honor it. Okay. The moment I send 1 Bitcoin to Neil, okay, it is gone. It doesn't go to a, so अपन, आपने अगर बैंक से कोई transaction की है, suppose you have your account in Kotak Bank and Inaya has an account in State Bank. Okay. So if you want to send 100 rupees to Inaya, you go to Kotak Bank, Kotak sends it to RBI, RBI sends it to State Bank, and then State Bank credits it into Inaya's account. Okay. That's the process. In this, it is direct. You are directly sending it to Inaya without any third party. Okay. So that is the problem which it is solving. It is peer-to-peer, it's direct. And if you want to send $10,000 to somebody sitting in Japan, okay, 10,000 US dollars to somebody sitting in Japan. What the process is you go to your bank, submit all that paperwork, pehle to 100 paper aapse sign karenge, that why you sending the money out. Then your bank will convert your INR to dollars. Then that dollar will go to the Nostro account in New York, okay, because it's a US dollar. The Nostro accounts are in New York. Then the Nostro account will convert it to Vostro account of the Japanese companies. Then that money goes to Japan. Okay. And then, so this entire process takes about 3 days.
Oh.
Yes, it takes about at least 2 days. T+1 to lagta hi lagta hai. Okay. And then there's time difference and the banks leverage this entire process. वो एक दिन उस पैसे का मजा उठाते हैं and then they credit.
Would you consider this process slow?
Sir, adding to the question, since nowadays there are two currencies, so there's fiat currency, which is basically the paper currency, and then we have the cryptocurrency. So, is there any possibility that cryptocurrency will take over the fiat currency to make things simpler for the economy to function? And especially, you said that the banks require their processing time and for the for printing the notes as well. So, do you think it would be a better alternative as well?
Yes. So yes, the first question, it is very slow. It takes 1.5 to almost 2 days. Aajkal to
Then
aap
it happens in case of shares also, right? It's T+2 settlement.
Exactly.
So it's not always to be considered slow, right?
No, but the standard which has been set since the start, we are in the age of 5G. We order from Amazon at 10 a.m. We get it at 1:30. Okay. And your shares which are digital, your money which is important, right? And it is taking you 2 to 3 days. So that time is, there is so much of paperwork involved. While ordering from Amazon, we don't even think twice. Yeah, acha laga, click, and it is there, right? It's so, but the process behind it is too complicated. If you want to send money to somebody in Japan, it takes you 2-3 days and so much of, it's impossible to do global business with such complicated things. पहले पता है चेक क्लियरिंग में डालते थे आज से 10 साल पहले तो 7 दिन लगते थे उसको क्लियर होकर आने, right? So that time has reduced. Now it still takes 2 days, but that can, now CTS is there, check truncation system, but even it still takes a lot of time. For if you want to do global service exports, you need something which settles immediately. Okay. Suppose you are getting your company logo designed from somebody sitting in Ukraine. Okay. He says that, sir, I've made the logo, it's ready. And then you'll be like, okay, fine. Let me send you 50% advance first. So you logo ka photo bhejoge, then uski files bhejoge, right? That entire, just to get that logo, it'll take you weeks. But if you have crypto, the transaction settles immediately. So because it is borderless, you send somebody sitting in Africa or somebody sitting in Iceland, you can send a transaction in less than a minute. It's sorted. without any third party, without any documentation, without any KYC. So that was the idea behind it, to do global transactions without any third party involvement.
So do
Now,
you believe
Can we
that,
say it's a better alternative to paper currency, considering how?
yeah, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. So yes, paper currencies are now moving to CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. You can go Google about it. Now, what the governments have realized that ये Bitcoin अगर रहेगा तो हमारा तो problem हो जाएगा, boss.
Problem
So
हो
we
जाएगा.
have to update ourselves and get into the new age techs, right? So, but the thing is, those CBDCs would be fast. They'll do all the functions of what Bitcoin does, right? But it will still be centralized. That means it is like a mobile bank in your as good as opening a bank account. So that is not solving the problem. It won't be borderless. If you are sending money to somebody in the US using Indian CBDC, it will still take that much of time. It won't happen over a period of 1 minute.
So do you believe that as time passes, let's say in another 10 years, instead of 3 days, it could have, come down to like 1 year or one day or something like that?
It should be 1 second. Why?
So how long do you think that will take?
We are already in the digital age. We send a WhatsApp message, it reaches you in less than a second. So why sending money should take so much time?
So long.
It's a problem, right? It's a problem. We are all entrepreneurs, right? So we need to see the problem and give a solution. 1 minute में अगर वो काम 1 second में हो सकता है तो उसके लिए 1 दिन क्यों wait करें? So what's the solution is go peer to peer and a network based model. So the governments are also moving into it, and to address to Neil's question, it is going to be an alternative. Okay, so it's like you like Coke or Pepsi. Okay, people have their choices, but they both are great drinks. Bitcoin is a great instrument to do transactions, and fiat currency is also a great way. It's a traditional thing. It's government recognized. All those things are there, but there will be an alternative, right, to do a transaction in a systematic manner. So आपको जो पसंद है आप use करो. It's not going to take over Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not going to take over fiat currency or anything like that. It's not something. It should not be considered as a threat. It should be considered as an alternative. Now we have an alternative. Before we did not have an alternative.
So someone has asked another question in the chat box. Would it be legal right now to indulge into Bitcoin remittances to the USA, or would this be reported to the RBI?
This should be reported to the RBI. So RBI, whenever you are sending money out of the country, you have to report it to the RBI. Okay, if you are not reporting, you are violating a law called FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. So up till $250,000, you are allowed to do it in one financial year. You can send $250,000 out, provided you have valid reasons to it. You still have to declare. It's not that you're sending it, but above that, you are not allowed to do it. If it is Bitcoin or if it is your bank, you're not allowed to do it. 250K is the max limit for individuals.
Also, sir, I wanted to know one more thing, that cryptocurrency platforms have literally received a boom in United States. But do you think when the government finally allows it in India, so people would adapt it to the way they did to the fiat currency? Because they will take some time to first educate themselves about it, and then there's always a risk factor that what if the currency changes aren't taken. But considering how advanced it is, so do you think it will be well accepted in the Indian market as well?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, a lot of international exchanges are just waiting for the regulations to come in. The day regulations come in, they will all, in 1 week's time, they will see all international exchanges coming in India. India is a huge market. And I'll tell you one fact. India has about 10 million users of crypto already. Okay. And out of that, about 6 million users are under the age of 30. So there is a lot of young population getting into crypto. Okay, so and people of our generation, they will not find it difficult to learn and adopt to something which is so new. And it's not difficult. It's as good as using your Paytm wallet, until and unless you are getting into an advanced stage. But for payments, it is really simple.
Right, sir. And I think we have one more question from Aman in the chat box. So how do you explain the extreme volatility in crypto market?
Absolutely. Great question, Aman.
Wow.
Okay. Imagine
Something that was always on everyone's mind.
yes, that why cryptocurrencies are so volatile. Okay. So ये जो mining or technical aspect है ना, this is all it's like see it as an industry. Okay. This mining and all, everything is the industrial aspect of Bitcoin. But the prices are still determined by the market forces, like in stock market also, right? Tomorrow if some news comes about Adani, that they have some international bank thing and their stock prices crashed, so stock markets में already हो रहा है और अभी नहीं हो रहा है, since ages this has been happening.
Beginning, yeah.
Right now Elon Musk is a very influential person with a lot of people of our age following him, and if he says that Bitcoin is crazy, people will just leverage this news and they'll pump the market. Okay, now in stock market there are circuits. Here there are no circuits. This is 24/7 and it's a global market. It's not just focused to some disturbance.
So Kirti,
Yep, it's good. So this is a global market. On one exchange platform, the entire world can come trade. Okay, it's just not limited to India ki 9 se 3 baje tak chal. Okay, so it's different. Now, why the volatility happens? One, of course, influence is there definitely because the market is very small. The global market size is 120-30 trillion dollars, and crypto market is just 1.3, 1.7, 1.8 trillion dollars right now. So the smaller a thing is, it is easier to manipulate. Okay, and more people have more control. They have more Bitcoins with them right now. So I always give this example of a chocolate milkshake. So if you are making a chocolate milkshake, okay, you'll put the syrup, you'll put the cookies, you'll put the ice, you'll put the milk. Okay, so imagine a glass where you put the syrup. So the syrup will go and settle down in the end, right? Then you'll start shaking it or stirring it. So the moment you do that, it starts circulating. So that imagine that chocolate syrup as the concentrated wallets having more Bitcoins. Okay. So when the market goes up, these people, they will be like, Abhi bhav badh gaya, chalo bechte hain. Then they will sell. And the new guys, they will buy. Okay. Then the market goes down, new guys will sell, new players will buy. So the more volatile the market is, the more consistent the price would become. Okay, so if you see the volatility of Bitcoin 5 years ago, it used to go up by 25-30% every day, up and down, right? Now it has come down to 5, 7, 6, 3, 2, these percentages. So now with time, if you see the long-term chart, zoom out, go on tradingview.com or something and see the Bitcoin US dollar chart. In a period of 10 years, the volatility has started coming down. Okay, but now because the prices have gone from $10 to $40,000, even a 1% move is like a $400 move, which is still huge. However, if you see the percentage picture of the whole thing, it has gone down. So that is one of the main reasons for volatility. And it is a very nascent market. Gold has a 3,000-year-old history. Bitcoin is just 10 years. So usko thoda time dena chahiye. And as more and more people come in, more and more institutional money comes in, the more consistent it will become. Okay, right now there are very few institutions even though JP Morgan and all these companies have gotten, they've not exposed themselves to higher chunks of positions in the market. So when there are like 200-300 million sitting on the order books, it is very difficult to dump or pump the markets. The prices will be more consistent.
So
So,
we
sir,
have another question. Okay, Rishikesh, is it a follow-up
so
question?
sir, yeah.
Go
So,
ahead.
sir, with so much fluctuation in a day, so don't you think that Bitcoin and all the cryptocurrency is not good for daily transactions because people can literally lose their money with
Transactions,
fluctuations?
you mean to say payments, making a
Yeah,
payment,
payments,
or trading?
payments.
Yeah, so for payments, there are now several payment gateways out there. Okay, so what they have developed is, suppose you want to send somebody $40,000. Okay, so it will see that one Bitcoin is worth $40,000. So they will generate a QR code which is valid only for 5 minutes. You have to do the transaction in 5 minutes. Otherwise, that QR codes, that entire QR code, and suppose price बढ़ गई, right? So instead of one Bitcoin, now you have to send 0.95 Bitcoin. So those things are there, and these are very volatile, of course. So for payments, for micro payments, it's not advisable, but for larger chunks of payment, it's fine. But there are more stable currencies also, which settle, and they're also very fast. So you can use those currencies like USDT, and all these currencies are there. The USDT is a stable coin; it doesn't go up and down. So if you want to make somebody a $10,000 payment, you can sell your Bitcoin, buy the US dollar tether, and give them the payment. So you are eliminating the risk of volatility. But it is still a decentralized cryptocurrency. It's not decentralized exactly, but it uses a decentralized platform.
So as you mentioned that, in the next decade, all the uncertainties and volatility associated with cryptocurrency are drastically going to reduce. So like, suppose if I want to make an investment into any platform, say Bitcoin or Dogecoin, then how much should I invest in it, and like how much percentage should I invest? So how will I make
Look
that
at
decision?
look at your portfolio. Suppose you have a 1 lakh rupee portfolio. Okay, you have bonds, you have gold, you've got stocks, you've got Pokemon cards. Okay, you have to see how much is the value of your portfolio. Ascertain that first. Now see that what is your risk appetite. Are you willing to risk 10% of it or 1% of it? How much you can? And then put that money in crypto, because see, it is very volatile. Of course, for long term, it's wonderful. You must have it in your portfolio. It's a must have. But ये जो अभी $40,000 है, हो सकता है अगले महीने $20,000 का हो जाए, हो सकता है अगले महीने $60,000 का हो जाए. We don't know that, right? But because it's a non-correlated asset, it's not pegged with the geopolitical situation, or the if China and America gets into a war, nothing technically would happen to Bitcoin, because it's not pegged to China and America. It's a global thing, right? There is a node in space as well now. So it is a must have. I think you can take a risk of up to 3 to 5% of your portfolio size. It's totally fine to have it. And as you learn more about it, you should invest only in something which you understand good in. तो जब आप उसमें पैसा डालोगे, तब आपको उसके बारे में your subconscious mind will start working, and whenever you will come across anything like Bitcoin, you'll start reading more about it, because उसमें आपका पैसा लगा है. 5,000 रुपए ही लगा है, but लगा है. So your observation, your understanding towards that article will be more. So put in some money and start learning about it first. Then if you are confident, you can increase and diversify your portfolio.
Yes, sir. So you think it would always be nice to start small?
Yeah, always start small. Always start small, learn about it, but you have to start somewhere. Don't be reluctant that government is gonna ban you, you'll go in jail and all that. ऐसे सब नहीं होगा. See, even if the government has their own challenges, okay? It is a problem for government to track, trace, and tax these things. But there are solutions as well, which the government is evaluating. So if they go, and you see the G20 nations, okay, except China, no country has banned it in the G20 nations. I'm not talking about small countries. G20 are considerably good countries. None of them have banned it. You know the valuation of Zomato, which got listed?
I think it is more than seven or USD 700 billion, right? I'm forgetting the number. It was
No, I'm talking about Zomato. 1 lakh crore.
oh,
Okay. There is a company called Coinbase, which got listed at $100 billion. And it was a NASDAQ listing. Okay, it was a direct listing. There was no underwriting. $100 billion. Just go on Google and type Coinbase listing valuation. You'll find it. So when we see a crypto company getting at $100 billion listing at NASDAQ, which is one of the most regulated markets in the world, we should not see that, this is something which is illegal. It's a commodity. It's a very volatile, risky commodity, and we should have 2 to 5%. So there won't be an overnight ban or anything like that. Get that fear out of your heads. You're not doing anything wrong with it. Buy it and keep it. Don't send it out of the country and do all those sorts of things. You can use the Indian exchanges, buy some, and that's it.
I think it's
Hi,
just important for everyone to take a little risk.
yes.
See, until and unless you take risk, you won't.
Risk hai to ishq hai.
Ishq hai, absolutely. I was just trying to.
Could I just interrupt once again and ask a question personally? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I just wanted to know basically, I already have 3 social media accounts on Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube, and revenue of basically 12 lakh budget over 30 days is coming through ad management and adding accounts to your adding basically you add to your own funds and from there you promote and that way.
Hmm.
So is that like a right small path to start off or
No, where is crypto here?
no crypto over here is not involved. Crypto's not involved. Over
Okay.
here, this is I'm talking about social media. Using
Hmm.
social media maybe later for crypto also. But
Hmm.
right now starting off using social media to
Hmm.
promote, advertise,
Hmm.
start the revenue already, and
Hmm.
then making it much easier for you to get either crypto, intraday trading, stock markets, inside all different forms of trading. But
Hmm.
would social media be a good platform to start off?
See, it is important that see, YouTube is the world's biggest knowledge bank. It is better. You'll get probably more knowledge than any library also. So YouTube is a very
Yeah,
good
no,
platform.
I
But
haven't.
I won't suggest
Yeah.
Instagram and all those things to be reliable to learn anything.
Hmm.
Twitter is really good to keep yourself updated with the leaders and
Right, right.
influencers. But yes, YouTube is good, and it is important that who you follow on YouTube, what are their credentials. They are not just random YouTubers,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
right.
They should be. So yeah, thanks for
So, and what
reminding.
about LinkedIn? Do you think it's important to make
LinkedIn,
connections?
LinkedIn is good. LinkedIn is good, but we don't know who that person is. There has to be some vetting done um before you start following somebody. You have to see what he has done in his career. So follow this guy called Andreas Antennaopoulos on YouTube. Okay, he is been there since the very start, and some of his he has a very active YouTube channel. But in his channel, whatever information you are gonna get for about Bitcoin is gonna be, I would say it is trustable and reliable, absolutely.
Could you please
And
repeat the name? And Neil, could you please put it on the chat box?
Andreas
Yes, sure.
Antonopoulos. Just Google Andreas Bitcoin, you'll find him. And there is this book called Mastering Bitcoin. Order it from Amazon. Mastering Bitcoin. That book will basically give you an overview of how Bitcoin functions, all the technicals, fundamentals, why the price is going up, down, this, that, all that. पूरा उसका history उसमें है. It's a very good book, Mastering Bitcoin.
Sorry,
And
I wanted to ask
also,
you. Yeah. Sorry, yeah,
also
sorry.
read the Bitcoin white paper. Okay, it's just 8 pages. Go on Google, type Bitcoin white paper, you'll find it. It's just 8 pages, but it you may feel that it is slightly technical, but as a student you must read it. Then you will understand what it is all about. Yeah, you were asking something, Neil.
Yeah, so earlier you had mentioned that Zomato has a very high Coinbase value, but then we know that there hasn't been a single quarter since 2008, which was its inception, that Zomato was into profits. So, like, how has its value gone up so high to like 1 lakh crore to a valuation so high?
So valuation is very subjective. Okay, if so you have in any tech company, doing a valuation is difficult. uh Somebody is writing expectations. Yes, kind of, people expect it to do so much of business. So Amazon did a loss for the first 8 to 9 years. And the moment they started doing profits in next 3 to 5 years, I think Jeff Bezos was the richest person. So your revenue matters when it comes to valuation. Your revenue is more important than your profit. Okay. And the number of users you have, the number of people who use your service, that gives you more value and goodwill. It's just not profits.
Money isn't everything
So
always.
there is a concept of burning money. Whenever there is a startup, for the first few years, like when I go pitching to investor, they're like, what is your burn rate? How much money you burn every year, every month. And I'm saying, this is my burn rate right now. It's $10,000. We're expecting it to go to $15,000. Then as your company grows, you'll have more employees, you'll burn more, right? But your company is growing, you are burning money as well, but your revenue is also growing. So percentage wise, your burn, even though it is increasing, percentage wise, when you compare it with your revenue, your burn is going down and slow. And there will be a point where it switches into profit.
Yeah, like initially Amazon used to spend about 1.92 rupees to like on 1 rupee, and now they are like I think spending 1.3. So that ratio has come down. So
That is
is that
because
an
of the
example?
tech. This concept is applicable for tech companies, because tech is scalable like anything. You cannot scale a cement factory, or you cannot scale a cotton factory. That this cement factory is gonna give me an output of 100 tons, right? It cannot go 120 tons. It cannot go 150 tons. 100 uska limit hai, wahin pe khatam hai. But in tech, in Amazon, 10,000 people can come today and 1 lakh people can come today and upload their products, right? So the scalability is exponential. That adds the value. A tech company can be valued at any level.
Since you are the founder of CREBACO, we would like to know that how was your journey in beginning it? Like, what led you to, initializing it? Like, what made you feel that the importance of a company like this would be required?
So it took me about 3 to 4 months to first make sure that I want to start something like this. What was important is my belief on crypto and decentralization, because 4 years back when we started evaluating options, uh, so what happens is, suppose I have a Bitcoin right now. Like I used to foresee this back then, that what if I had a Bitcoin and the price is, because the supply is limited, it's just 21 million, and the demand is growing. Everybody wants to get into crypto. You guys are making webinars, learning about it. You'll buy crypto. You'll go and tell 10 more people they'll buy crypto, right? So but the supply is limited. So technically, I will never sell my Bitcoin. I will always hold it, because I will anticipate that the price will keep going high, which is, of course, fundamentally also it is going high. Supply come hai, demands are there. So what will happen is, you will go to the bank, and instead of mortgaging your house, you'll mortgage your cryptocurrency. Okay, so when that level comes, there are 4,000, 5,000 cryptocurrencies out there. So you may have Ethereum, you may have Litecoin, right? But the bank guy will need some kind of a validation that yes, Litecoin is good. It is not double A, it is not triple A, but it is A, and I can give a loan up to 70%. So for that, they need credit rating agencies, right? So we started off with that idea. That's why we started CREBACO, so that we rate blockchains, cryptocurrencies, and initial coin offerings, which are new coins being offered to the market. So how are they rated? How are they assessed? So that entire thing was body which regulates this. It will be really good, because this is the future here. And like stock, like how Inaya just mentioned that a stock settlement takes 2 days. In crypto, it will be settled in 1 minute and will be in your hand.
So ever since the launch of CREBACO, like what has been your most interesting research? One which was
If
like was
country to
against your
country,
expectations. Like you would have thought something, but then you got completely different findings. So what was that research?
Okay, so we bust a lot of scams. So we have helped one of the few Southeast Asian countries in busting scams. So there are like ICOs. ICOs are initial coin offerings. So you can start your Neil coin and say that guys, I'm starting my own startup, starting a sugar factory, and I need 100 crore rupees. But in return, I'll give you Neil coin, and whenever you need sugar, you can buy it with Neil coin. Okay, so that is an ICO in a nutshell. But a lot of people gave these projects on a white paper. They raised money, but they never started a sugar factory. They ran away with the money. And since Bitcoin gives you the complete ownership right, it is not there in a bank account. It is there in a pen drive which you completely own. You get away with it really easily. So for us, it was really important to make sure that Neil is the right person, his due diligence is right, and his concept of sugar factory and his financials, token economics, everything is right. Um, One of the researches which we found surprising was of Ripple. XRP is a cryptocurrency. So in our CREBACO index, we have an index. If you go on CREBACO.org, on the top left, you will find CREBACO index, which is an index traded fund. Uh, so everybody said that, why are you not taking Ripple? But according to our research parameters, Ripple is not a cryptocurrency. It is more like a security token. And we got validated when the SEC sued Ripple, saying that this is a security token, and the case is still going on. But we got a good confidence, and you can say we got a good boost that our parameters are good enough. Even SEC looks at the entire ecosystem in the same manner, and we are a crypto pro company, but we are also government pro at the same time. We help the regulators, governments in making things more compliant and more regulated, and stop money laundering and all those wrong illicit activities, making this ecosystem more trustworthy.
So a while ago, you were telling us about how you were wishing that your company now gets a patent, right?
Hmm.
So how exactly does that process work?
Parameters, we see the different aspects, right? We see the legal, that if the company is, say, incorporated in Malta, we will give it a B rating. But if it is incorporated in America, we'll give them A rating. Okay, because America
So
is
it's
more
location
regulated.
based.
So that is location based. So that's on the legal. Then we see the corporate structure. Like we are incorporated in 4 countries, but our headquartered country is Singapore, right? So other countries, other entities are holding companies. So that is the corporate structure. Then we also see that in Singapore and in India and in US, the directors are the same. So we take the corporate data and make sure that the company is structured well and the directors are the same, and there is no the nitty gritty is clear. Okay, that's on the legal side. Then we see the tech side, what technology. Somebody came out with this coin called banana coin. Okay, they wanted to put bananas on a blockchain, and they raised a few $1 million. It was a scam. They ran away with the money. But we see that, is it feasible कि ये जो करना चाह रहा है वो कर पाएगा कि ये हवाई बात? Because people don't understand the tech, right? You can't expect people to understand blockchainizing bananas. So we see the fundamentals, then we see the token economics, that they are raising 1 crore rupees, issuing 1 crore coins or 100 crore coins, where they want to trade it. All those aspects are there. And once that data is collected, it is verified by 3 individuals, three research analysts. Okay. And after that, an AI based algorithm also adds to that score, and then a score is generated. So that collection of data, processing of data, and generating of score This process is a unique process which we've applied for a patent.
So
for
how
the same
long
thing.
does this take?
It takes anywhere between 7 to 10 days to create one research report, but we are in a process of automating it. Right now, we have achieved about 70-75% automation for the entire process, and we expect it to reach about 90%. But we want that human element to be there.
For everyone here, we have the link of CREBACO in the description chat box. So if anyone is interested, they could definitely check out Sir's link. Neil, if you have any questions.
Yeah, sir, just out of curiosity, I wanted to ask that, since you already have your textile business running, which is doing phenomenally well, and now that you are into CREBACO, which is in a different field. So like what interests you more right now? Is it like CREBACO or both?
Yes, and also, what do you think about the normal stock market? Just to add to that.
Okay, so there is a saying, roti, kapda and makan. वो तो necessity है आदमी को. I can always go back to textiles after 10 years and start selling textiles, and you guys will still buy it. Roti, kapda, makan is not going to go anywhere. But this is an opportunity which we will not get for next 100 years. Okay, this timing of next 7 to 10 years is going to create new Jeff Bezos and new billionaires. So the first trillionaire in this world will be from the crypto industry. Okay, so I didn't wanted to miss this opportunity. So now I give at least 95% of my time in CREBACO. Focus more on scaling this, not focusing on textile at all, not expanding that business. वही जो पुराने clients आ रहे हैं, orders दे रहे हैं, वो auto run पे चल रहे हैं. I'm not focusing on textiles. I'm more focused on this, laser sharp focused on CREBACO. And
we hope you are the first trillionaire. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely, thank you. And the stock market, yes, the stock market is going up. It's doing great, but this is more a result of inflation rather than fundamentals. Okay. Suppose Inaya, Neil, and Sidharth, all three of us are sitting in a room with 100 rupees in our pocket, trying to buy an apple. Okay, but suddenly Rishikesh comes and gives all of us 500 rupees each. Now we've got 600 rupees in our pocket. So we are willing to pay more for that apple. Okay, so the price of the apple goes up. No change in demand, no change in supply. But because of this additional money between three of us, the price goes up. That's exactly what is happening to the stock market. This is, there's no, आप किसी को भी पूछ लो business के साथ बोलते हैं अच्छा है, it's good, but it's not doing great. That our production capacities have not increased, our supply is the same. Demand is the same.
IPOs coming up, like every week there are 3 IPOs. Like even this week there was Krishna, there was Glenmark, there was Zomato.
They are just leveraging the timing. Yeah. They are just leveraging the timing. The market is good. Everybody has money to invest, right? When you are doing an IPO in a dead market, you won't get money because nobody has money to invest. So they are leveraging the time.
Sorry, Rishikesh, could you please repeat?
Because of Harshad Mehta is hyped more.
That's one of the that's probably one of the reasons, that thing went ahead.
Sir, I just wanted to ask a couple of questions more, and then we can proceed towards the end of the session. That the personal questions. That what would be the best piece of advice which you would want to give to 20-year-olds, and the slogan which has always worked as the perfect success mantra for you?
I would say buy some Bitcoin and explore this space. It's very important for at least our generation to get our hands on. The problem is we go to people who are at least 1 or 2 generations elder to us, right? You will probably go to your granddad for suggestion, or your father for suggestion, and you'll ask them ki papa main Bitcoin kharid raha hu. You can't expect him to believe in digital value. So you need to find out. I'm not saying he's going to give you a wrong advice, with all due respect, but this is a nascent space and it's unprecedented. It's just a 10-year-old thing, right? So so the Alfred Marshall or the James Keynes of this space is yet to be born. So you have to find out, you have to do a lot of research on your own. You have to do a lot of reading on your own before you take any suggestion, step in this space. So an advice to the 20-year-old will be that if you want to take a decision into the fintech and decentralized space, you have to go to the right people for advice, right? Don't go to a person who's, of course, he might have great experience. Warren Buffett has great experience. Okay, he's the guru, but he has zero knowledge on crypto. तो वो बोलता है कि Bitcoin zero हो जाएगा, because he doesn't understand that digital value is more precious than physical value now, right? So that's one. And my favorite slogan is no guts, no guts, no glory.
So I thought it would be risk hai to ishq hai.
Exactly. Even I thought it would be your favorite book.
हाँ, but उसको इश्क होता है, मेरे को glory चाहिए.
Thank you so much, sir. I think we have come to an end of our session. I think people have a lot of questions, and that will be never ending.
I'll put in my social media handle here.
Yeah,
if you
sure,
guys
sir.
have.
So should I ask someone to do that?
I'm just doing it. That's my Twitter handle. I'm very active on Twitter, so you can ask me there, or else you can mail
you have
me.
a pretty good LinkedIn profile as well, because in the span of the last week, like I can't even imagine how many times I would have stalked you over there. The kind of articles, the kind of posts.
Yes, sir, very honestly.
No, I'm not very active on LinkedIn anymore. I just use it to.
No, sir, but we did read a few of your articles, and
especially
you must
the
say
ones
they're very impressive.
where you educate about the basics of LinkedIn and like where you emphasize on the key terms, and that was really great.
Thank you. I'll try and be more active on LinkedIn. But now I'm very active on Twitter because it's faster here. It's just that you can just do a tweet. So Twitter is very good. You guys can reach me on Twitter. I've given my email address. If you guys have any questions, you can mail me over there. I'll probably reply you after a month, but I'll reply you.
we like
till then the market will change.
You're right. So,
that's not fair.
Twitter would be better.
Yes, sir. I think we have your Twitter handle on the chat. So I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of HR College as well as the Growth Development and Change Cell to thank you so much for coming today. It was an amazing session, and it was something not like a typical formal session, but we actually learned, and we could actually ask you, from the most basic to the most difficult question. So thank you so much, sir. We hope you are the first trillionaire, and it was an honor hosting you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And I wish.
Could we please have a photo with you?
How? Like this?
No, like if everyone could please, put their videos.
Oh, like that. Sure.
So we could just take a group photo, as a memory.
Go ahead.
I'm on it.
Okay, so just say a 3, 2, 1, so everyone will smile.
3, 2, 1. Crypto.
That's good.
Requesting everyone else also if they could please put their videos on just for 2 minutes. Yeah. So Kirti, could you take another one?
Just a second. One, two, three, crypto. Just a second, guys. I'll have to capture everybody.
If anyone is taking some boomerangs too, please go ahead and tell us what pose you would like. So any of your recommendations? Chai. I don't think anyone is drinking chai at the moment. So is anyone taking a boomerang?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, okay.
Also, Anaya, if you could unmute sir He's asking for the request.
Sukirti?
Yep, got it.
So sorry, sir.
No problem. I didn't know.
Is the photo okay, Sukirti?
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. I guess we've come to an end of our session, but we're hoping we can reconnect with you on Twitter, LinkedIn, and all other social media platforms. And wishing you all the best for the future. Thank you so much for joining in.
It was a
Thank you,
pleasure.
sir.
All the best, guys. Take care. Bye.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you, sir.
sir.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
You too. Bye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Requesting all the OC to stay back.
Anaya, should I stop recording?
Yeah.